Wow, your super awesome cool lesson and or game is full of so much data, but what data does your audience actually need? Hi, I'm Mr. Layman. Today we're going to talk about tracking relevant data in education and in gaming. Should you track every single little piece of data? The short answer is no.
We're leaving.
Okay, but before you shut this off, just give me a little bit, and I promise you by the end I'm going to help make your educational lessons better, and I'm going to help you make your game a little bit better. So hold on a second. Something a lot of new teachers struggle with is grading because, oh my gosh, there is so much of it. Now you could just do this, but I'm going to suggest you only have two things you're doing in your classroom. Formal, actual testing that you're grading, and formative assessments, aka practice, that you are not grading. Formative assessment is more like relevant practice. They are learning to do something, so why are they being graded on something that they are learning to do? That kind of practice can include things like homework, classwork, those little like check for understanding questions at the end of the lesson where you're like, hello, are you alive? Did you absorb any of this? Stuff like that, not busy work. In fact, don't even give people busy work. It's terrible and everyone hates it. Why are we pretending like busy work is fun? Allow that practice to be a safe space where they can experiment. That's how people learn. Keep it low stakes. Use that practice as a teacher to see their patterns, where they're weak, where they're strong, where they need improvement, where you can give actual genuine praise. But you do not have to grade all of that. In fact, do not grade all of that. Praise, yes. Gradebook, no. This is why games get more difficult as you play them. You're learning the game. You're gaining skills as a player. Maybe even you're gaining new abilities as a character. And the game should rise to compete with the awesome new you. Michael Phelps is not evaluated by the Olympic Committee when he's practicing in the pool on a Tuesday morning. He is judged by judges at the actual Olympics. The vast majority of the grade should come from a test or a project, like you can see my pirate poster projects back here for my students, something that they've had time to prepare for and use the skills that they practiced to make those things even better. The practice isn't graded, but it's reflected in the outcome of this kind of stuff. I'm also of the mindset that your current grade should be way more tilted towards your average than something you did 6 months ago. You could have done really well or really poorly, but I don't really need that impacting your average that much when I'm talking about how are you doing right now. The same thing happens in a video game. Oh my gosh, I died on the first level. Fine, but how are you playing right now? We do the same kind of stuff in real life. I don't know why we're pretending otherwise in these other scenarios. What's the point? I've been teaching for 20 years. What are we going to evaluate how good I was in my first year of teaching and have that be, oh, how am I teaching right now? Better. So I am saying you do not need to grade all of that practice. In fact, don't grade all that practice. Give relevant feedback on their relevant practice. You can monitor it, you can check in, you can guide them, you can see where someone is strong, where someone is weak, but it should not be a grade. It's a lot less stress for you, and it's a lot less stress for them too. They'll love learning more, and you will not have to grade a pile of assessments, because these things, they stack up. It's the same exact thing in tabletop gaming. Players learn about the plot, they learn about their role in it, they have some character growth, but they do not need to be bogged down by tracking everything. Okay, some things do keep track of, things like spell slots or health potions, because if you're just like, I'm not going to pay attention to those and just have them be unlimited, it will break the difficulty of the game. But things like the exact amount of rope everyone has or the number of arrows, don't make them count arrows. Here we see Final Fantasy IV. In one version, we have to track Rosa's finite supply of arrows. She can run out of them, and when she does, she has to punch people. Or we could just skip that part and just say, Rosa has arrows, we're good. Sure, if they have like 5 wooden stakes and there's 6 vampires, okay, fine. Or like they're trying to work out some puzzle where they need to use ropes to descend a cliff, fine. But that's not like a puzzle or it's part of the plot. That's the kind of tracking that matters. Hey, how many Horcruxes does Harry Potter have to get? How many Infinity Stones are there? By all means, track those MacGuffins. We're not tracking how many bullets are in Rocket Raccoon's gun. How many bullets are in a gun might be important to another movie, but it's part of the plot and the tension of the scene. It's helping the overall experience. It's not just, oh boy, data! By the way, this scene that I included is a deleted scene. So I know they wrote it and they filmed it. Oh my gosh, it was so important to the director. Yeah, but at the end, we just cut that out. It makes the experience better for the audience, and that's who this is for. You're teaching to an audience. You are doing gaming where there's an audience. We don't need all of this. The kids don't need to memorize all the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Oh my gosh, Mr. Lehman, do I have to memorize all these names? Is that going to be on the test? Because the second they ask, oh, is this going to be on the test? They're super not going to learn it. And then they're only going to learn stuff for the test rather than learn, skills. And as a teacher, you want people to learn skills. And as someone who's playing games, you want the player to gain more skill. But when they start dismissing the data because there's way too much of it and it doesn't seem relevant, I don't blame them for tossing this stuff out. Bottom line, you have an audience as a teacher or as a game designer. What is that audience getting out of this experience? If you make it all about tracking things that don't matter, they're missing out on all of the fun and all of the growth. And they're just going to tune it all out. I hope this was helpful. I'm a teacher out here in Los Angeles. I'm also virtual throughout all of California. So if you're interested in someone teaching you history, science, or Dungeons and Dragons, let me know. My links are all in the comments. Click all the buttons with the link and the subscribe and the like and all that nonsense, and I'll catch you around. Take it easy. Bye.